What's going on, people? Welcome to the match preview as we look ahead to the game against Everton on the weekend. I'm joined by T and AJ here. As always, we want to hear from you. So leave down your comments in the comment section down below. And if you do enjoy the content, hit the like button and subscribe. Takes a second of your time and helps us out massively. Gents, another game. We're on a winning streak. 3-3, trying to make it 4-4. But today I want to start off with the opposition, because we had the opportunity to relegate them before, and somehow we're always giving them life. But what does it mean to Everton if we don't beat them? What do you guys think about that? Because it seems like we're pretty much safe. But you know, if we do beat them, what does it mean for Everton? Do you think they're in banging trouble this season, or are you confident that they'll stay up regardless of our result?
I think it means they have to look over their shoulder a lot more. It means that they are definitely in a excuse the term, mudded position, and it means that we would get one step closer to where we want to be, which is Premier League football consistent for another year, and possibly a top half finish as well. But more focus on Everton. They have to win. Like, we can actually, funny enough, because of the results we've had recently, we could actually afford to drop a point or two, preferably not, because I'm still with the same narrative that I want to win as much as possible, early as possible. But for me, I think that Everton need this more than we do. And from what I've seen, especially around the social media and the fan base side of things, they're really going to try and push them as hard as they can, as much as they can, to try and escape that relegation. But the big R word for them is on the horizon, whereas for us, it's looking more and more fading in the background. And Saturday would be a great time for us to get behind the team at home, especially with the way performance have been, and really just sort of put a nail in the coffin. Palace are quite renowned over the years for relegating teams and putting the nails in a few coffins. And I would love to add Everton to that list. I think we're looking at losing a couple of big teams this season in terms of the relegation battle. Why not Everton? They're in horrible form. They've lost a non-league behind closed doors friendly today, which did feature some key players for them. So hopefully they'll continue that momentum kind of onto Saturday.
So that's what I was going to mention to T. So T, what if I told you that they lost 1-0 to a non-league side in a friendly that featured the likes of Holgate, Calvert-Lewin, Cody, Mina? Does that give you a bit more confidence going into the game? I mean, we don't really need much confidence. Our confidence is in our play. Like, we won 3-3. We're scoring goals. We're doing well defensively. But then add that on top of that, it boosts expectation. The expectation word comes in once again. Like, we're at home. Surely we should be looking to win this game as well. Then again, you're facing Sean Dyche. It's not really an easy game always against them.
To get clean sheeted against a 6th tier team, man, with guys like Patterson, Cody, Mina, Decore, Davies, Ellis Sims, Mason Holgate, all in your side, like, along with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and y'all don't score and you lose, man. Like, that's a horrible look, man. I'm just saying. I mean, but they have a ton on the line in this match. I mean, right now they're tied with Forest. Well, they're only up on Forest on goal differential right now from being in relegation. So if they don't get some type of result out of this match, they stand to put themselves in the relegation zone if Forest can pull a tie in their next match. You know what I mean? So a lot's on the line for them, similar to how it was when we played them last year in that last match. But you know what I mean? I think for us, like you said, we don't need a lot to push us forward in the confidence area because of how well we're playing. But I just think it's important that we stay locked in.
Yeah. Saying all of that, AJ, talking about Everton struggling in friendlies against non-league sides, featuring, some important first-team players, and they're not scoring a goal. And on top of that, how they're struggling in the league. In the most recent game, they lost to Fulham as well. Would it be a disappointment then if we don't beat them? Because you said that we could afford to drop points in a way because of the points that we've already picked up in the last 3 games. But saying that, forget about points. I mean, if you do look at the opposition side of things, forgetting about Palace for a second, like, surely anything less than a win would be unacceptable.
For me personally, yes, agreed, 100%. We have to remember that obviously they're going to have a few key players missing, as we're well aware in terms of injuries and suspensions, and in terms of the form we're in. I want to see us, put them to the gauntlet early. I want to see the same that we got in the last couple of games. I don't want to concede an early goal and then turn on. I don't want to see their fans all trying to take over Sellers for the first 20 minutes, half an hour. I want to see our fans on them from the neck and the get-go. I want to see our players attacking them from the get-go. There is a rumor that Wilf potentially might be fit for that game. If he is, I would still rather see him on the bench because as far as I'm concerned, the front three we've been playing with recently, in fact, the whole squad, to be fair, has actually been in such great form and they've come together as a unit so well under Roy that I think we need to just put the sword to him early. Why can't we be 3-0 up at half time? It's not beyond the realms of impossible, especially with the form they're in, especially with the squad they're probably going to put in front of us as well. I seriously want us to put a beating on Everton. I want us to, what was it? If memory serves me correctly, it's one fluky goal, one lucky goal, and one lucky tap-in, as Mr. Lampard said about us once.
We'll talk about him. Don't worry. We'll talk about Lampard.
I do apologise to Everton fans because since that comment got played, I've just been determined to see Everton in the mud. I know there's a different ownership, different manager in place since, and Sean Dyche is no mug. Let's be honest, Sean Dyche is no idiot. But at the end of the day, that sat with me, and we need some revenge from last year when they tried to pitch invade and attack our manager, and he showed him who he kicks, who he wants at the time. So, yeah, man, there's a special little bite to that Everton fixture for me personally that I'd like to, a respectful one. I got no beef with no Everton fans or anything stupid like that, but there's definitely a bit of tension there that I just want us to put them under a bit of pressure and settle them a little bit. I would love to see us just really turn them over. I'm not expecting no 5-0, 5-1 or anything like that. We're comfortable 2-0 or 3-0. Why not? Yeah. Let somebody else worry about that.
We'll see. We'll come to the score predictions. We'll talk about wins and losses and draws in terms of scoreline. But I think the big question mark against Southampton was the midfield because we knew that they had a strong midfield, and in the first half we did struggle against it. In the second half we ran them over, and it was quite simple. But in the first half, they had that strong point. And AJ mentioned a decent statement about Wilf, whether he comes back, does he play, does he not? We can talk about it, but the thing is, it could be pointless because we don't know if he's going to play yet. But whereas in the next game, we will know he should be fit against Wolves most likely. So I don't really want to talk about Wilf in this episode. I want to talk about the likes of Everton's midfield, Onana, Doucouré. They should be out. And in terms of strengths and weaknesses in this game, our midfield should be able to run them through the first minute rather than waiting for the second half. Because if you're looking at positions all over the pitch, I feel like we've got a better team, and maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit by just suggesting that we just got a completely better squad than Everton. But they're missing players. They've got literally no midfielders. Tom Davies is probably going to start in midfield, which is absolutely crazy. So the midfield battle is the one that I'm looking at in this game. I think we should be able to win it quite easily.
Yeah, looking at their squad, we'll probably see Iwobi, Davies, and Gay in the midfield. Not as good as Southampton's.
Yeah, we should be able to run it, and that's why I want us to have a fast start to the game as well. I think that's the
key.
one thing that maybe
and it's something that we haven't done a lot. If you think about it, in these past, even though we're on this 3-game win streak, which is fantastic, we started slow. In 2 out of 3, I want to say.
Yeah. Well, Leicester, it was fast, and that was at home. And then the 2 away games, we started.
Yeah, 2 away games started slow.
The game, yeah. But
at
home, that's a positive. We started.
So hopefully we replicate that home form that we saw with Leicester, and we get out playing better early. But I think that it's just one of those things where that'll be something to boost our confidence even further as far as how we've been playing. If we could just come out and, like AJ was saying, shut the door early. You know what I'm saying? Get 3-0 early. You know, but
AJ, am I right in saying that we'll be okay with the same lineup? Like, for the first time in these previews, there's really nothing to talk about the team. Like Sam Johnson, I don't think anyone could complain about that. Maybe Eduardo Mateta, but then again, that's not really talking. I don't like. Do people really care about who starts up front? Because, you know, midfield got on lock. On the left, Ayu's doing well. On the right, you know, Elise is doing well. We don't know if Zaha's fit. So it's just like the first game where you can't really complain, or you're not really looking at any changes going into the game.
It's a good question, and the only reason why I guess it's a more straightforward one is because the team's been in such hot form with that set starting 11. Yep. Why would you change it?
You don't change it.
I guess the only thing I would like air quotes, like to see is maybe, you know, what's going on with Hamada, maybe a couple of players that are returning from injury, i.e. there was Chris Richards up for debate, but he did make the bench against Southampton. Obviously, the Wilf conundrum's there. That's neither here or there. So, and I guess Ferguson, flip a coin on that one. Like, who knows? Or roll the dice on that one, I guess. It would just be... I don't think you should change the starting 11. At the end of the day, if the team's in form and we are packing in a stupid amount of goals, I would not change the starting 11. I'd probably consider maybe making a couple of fresh changes on the bench. But one thing that's dawned on me, is that Roy obviously has his guys he likes, and Roy obviously has his players that he trusts. And if that's working for him and we're getting the results, who am I to question that? Who am I to get mad about that?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, stick with it. Stick with it. At the end of the day, if it means that we're going to beat them 3-1, 2-1, 1-0 last minute tap in, couldn't care less. If it's going to get the result and he's happy with the squad, at this point, I have to, you know, trust Roy. He's given me another other reason to just trust his decision-making and trust his process. There's no questions there. Sometimes you'll look at the match sheet or the match lineup before it comes out and you might look at it and think, But against the Everton side, that is low on confidence and is quite weakened in terms of their form and performance, and especially without their sort of beastie midfielders, I think we've got more than enough in there. I can't personally comment on it at all.
Yeah, I agree. Let's look at the league table. It's interesting now. We're still 12th, but we're closing the gap. Sooner rather than later, we might actually be out of 12.
Surprise.
Come outside.
So nobody's saying that. Watch us end up losing this game and then dropping out to 14th or something like that. But look, we're only 3 points literally below Chelsea. But goal difference, they've got better goal difference.
For now.
It's making it more exciting. Look, we might escape 12, but it could go other way as well. We could drop down to 14th, 15th as well. But
do we know who Chelsea have got on the weekend?
Chelsea, that's a very good question. Chelsea have got on the weekend Brentford.
Yeah. Let's go.
But is it time? So is it a case of am I right in saying it's a case of just looking up the table now? Because I didn't look till 14th, 15th.
I mean, you definitely want it to be a case of looking up the table, but the reality is, if we don't get the decision, you could find yourself sliding back too. You know, it's crazy to think that after winning 3 matches in a row like we have and being in such good form, that if you drop a result at this point with the tightness of the table, we could easily go from 12th to 14th, even after going on a tear of 3 wins. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think it's definitely going to be more of a looking up the table if we can get a good result out of this match, I would say.
Yeah, and looking at Everton's recent form, we spoke a bit about Everton, but look, in the last game, they lost 3-1 against Fulham. They lost 2-0 against United. Then before that, drew 1-1 with Tottenham, drew 2-2 with Chelsea, beat Brentford 1-0. So there's been a few decent results there. It's not too bad, but drew with Forest as well. I mean, it's just they're a bit of an up and down team, but I can't really remember struggling that much against a Sean Dyche side. Even when he was at Burnley, I mean, we got some decent results against them, even without the likes of Will. But I see it being, I don't want to go overconfident, but I see it being as we are the favourites in this game. We have to be the favourites, and we have to try and go get a result out there. And if we do, as you mentioned, push up the table to 11th, it changes the whole momentum. Like, we're still pushing on. We're looking at 11th, then after 11th, we could be potentially looking at 10th. So it makes this game ever so more important. And let's just say this. Don't take Everton as fools because they can easily get a win. But then again, we should be aiming for a win. Anything less than a win, we're probably going to be like, that's a bit annoying.
Absolutely.
Regardless of our most recent form. And that's where we stand. But look, let's talk about score predictions now. Of course, we hyped up Palace a lot. Also selected Everton a lot. 1-0 Everton, AJ? What are you saying?
3-0 Palace. No long things.
3-0 Palace.
3-0 Palace. Clean.
I'll be happy with that. That's a big win. That's another statement win. For you, T, are you expecting another win?
Yeah, I'm expecting another win. I'll go 2-0 Palace with a Sam Johnston clean sheet.
Okay. What did I say last time? I said 1-0 Palace for Southampton. It ended up 2-0. I'm going to go 1-0 again. I'm going to go 1-0 again at home because they haven't got much attacking threat. They literally got no midfield as well. And I feel like our defense should be able to keep a clean sheet against theirs. But then again, I know that Sean Dyche and his Everton side, saying that against Fulham they weren't, but they should be more solid. Saying that they also considered a goal against a non-league side in a friendly midweek. And didn't score a goal against them. So, in theory, they should be a bit more solid. But I'm going for 1-0. I'll be happy with 1-0 win. But let us know your thoughts in the conversation down below. We've all gone for wins. We've gone for 1, 2, and a 3-0 win. Would you guys think maybe 4-0, 3-0, 2-0, 1-0? Let us know in the comment section. That's it from me, T, and AJ. As always, if you have enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, up the Palace.